Now that we've got a holder for the front of the rods, now we need something to support the back of the rods in the back. After some experimentation, I've discovered that the wood that I've been using for the rod holders slides very nicely between the front of the headrest and the bars that are in the back. I'm going to use that to hold this back rod holder in place. Like last time, I've made a sketch of what I think this is going to look like. It's 20 3/4 long, and I've measured out the spacing between the cutouts for the butt ends of the rods. This time the diameter of the hole is 1.5 inches, and still the center of the hole is 1/4 inch down from the top of the bar. The piece of wood that I've been working with has this notch in it that was there from when the sawmill originally cut the board that I took this out of. And since it lies in the middle of my board, well, it doesn't lie in the middle of my board, but close to the middle, and on neither side of this is long enough to give me my 20 3/4 inches. So I'm going to have to plan for this notch to fall within the notch that I was going to put in this board anyway for the headrest to fit down into. Now I can lay out my holes. We're going to install this and mark out where the cut for the headrest needs to go. The rods rest right against the front of the headrest, and if this is going to drop down inside, I may actually lose a little bit of the inside of these. I might just cut this straight across from the bottom of these two cutouts. That would work really well, I think. So if I draw a line right along the bottom of these two holes, this notch does end up a little bit deeper than that right here, but I just may have to live with it. I'll just let it be, just have a little notch at the end. That's just some of the character of the final product, I guess. You're not going to see it because it's going to be behind the headrest anyway. And then the headrest is going to end up being filling up this space in the middle so that the rods will drop into the notches, and the outside will be the wood and the inside will be the inside of the headrest. So we've got another test fit in the car now. So that seems to hold in place really nicely. Holds all the rods in a nice spot. The tips of the rods are nicely up off the dashboard, so that's going to work out well too. I think on this one, I think I'll round these outside corners like I kind of did on the front one, just for aesthetics. And then take it over and router off the edges to get it nice and smooth, and then we'll be done. Now I've decided that I'm going to leave the middle of this with square edges. I'm only going to router the outer part of this wood where it comes in contact with the rods and where you can see it, where it sticks out. The part in the middle that gets clamped by the seat, I'm going to leave square so that it will tend not to rock. If I rounded off all these corners, it was just going to roll in place. So I'm gonna start around here and router around and through here and end at this line. So it's between this line and that line where I'm going to be knocking off the edges. Okay, now we've made our first pass. Now I'm going to raise up my bit and make a second pass. Alright, so now we can sand this and put on a coat of wax and it'll be ready to go in the car. Now for a coat of paste wax. And I like to use various kinds of finishes on my wood projects. This is an example that I left. This is the first one that I did. I left this unfinished. You can see that, yeah, it got a little bit of water stains on it, but it still looks in pretty good shape. And then this one I did with polyurethane. It looks pretty nice. And but I wanted to try something different for this one, so I hit it with. I'm going to hit it with wax. You just use a rag and wipe it on, and that will brings out the texture of the wood real nice. Doesn't make it super shiny or anything, and it's not ultra sealed like you'd get with polyurethane. But I don't have any polyurethane right now, and polyurethane tends to be messy and it's a pain in the neck to put on, whereas wax, you just wipe it on and let it sit for a while and harden up and then polish it off. And you can put on multiple coats if you want to. I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it feels too. Doesn't feel quite as plasticky as polyurethane. Alright. So that's set up a while. Once it firms up, and we'll get a rag and polish off the excess. Shine it up a little bit before we put it in the car. There, that looks pretty nice. Now we can try it out in the car. Here's how I would install this back piece. Reach in and lift up the headrest, and then slide this piece in there. Drop that down in place. That holds it in place. And now I can put the rods in place. Here's what it looks like to load up the car with a full set of poles. There we go. And that's what it looks like up front if the long rods are on the outside. That's how they're held. And here's in the back. They're all held right there. And this is what it looks like when there are no rods in the holders. Not too bad.